Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another exciting episode of All About You. In today's segment, I am going to go over the Golden Frieza leader. I took first place just a few days ago, and this guy is very powerful. I came up with my own build. It's very synergetic, and it has to do a lot with this new set, especially the starter deck. The starter deck is actually one of the key components with the newer Broly packs. So as you guys already know, this guy, all you have to do is you target one of your Frieza army guys, you place it into your drop area, and then you can draw one card and tap an energy, which is very good because you're able to get a lot of bang for your buck and reuse a lot of your little guys. Then of course, when you awaken at 4 less life, you draw 2 cards. He's one of the oldest leaders. He came in set 1, so he's gonna have the standard draw 2 cards. Then bam, we got his awakened side. Now this Frieza has the same ability, except you actually get to restand 2 energy instead of 1, but you still draw 1 card. And then, of course, when he attacks, you draw a card. So let's get onto the profile. We run 4 Chili Frieza Force Sailor. So she is very crucial to the deck. This is a lemon lime edition, so you guys are gonna see it's really nice. It's green-yellow. So her ability is she's a standard like Majin Buu. You draw 1 card when she comes into play. And then she has a really nice active main effect. Just 1 green and 1 generic, and you can search your deck for 1 Frieza army card, 2 drop or less, and put it into play. Now, what's really good is that this effect can be used multiple times, so it allows you to get a lot of value when you get into the later game, or when you're using his effect constantly to restand energy. We have our main awakening piece of the deck, which is our Infernal Emperor Frieza. So, of course, these are all Frieza army cards. When he's put into play, I can take a life, and it could be from any zone. So if I'm using her ability, I can use her ability on turn 2, grab this guy from deck, put him into play, take a life, and start the awakening process, especially if I'm going up against a deck that's not aggro or that's not trying to kill me by turn 3. Now, this guy is very interesting. We run 4 Limo Frieza Force Soldier. Now this guy, he's very interesting. For one, he pretty much works for Chili. So for 1 green energy and you drop a card from your hand, you can search your deck for a Chili BR card, 2 drop or less, and put it into play. Now what's really cool is that he is very restricted on what his targets are, but Chili is a very important aspect of this deck. She's pretty much what makes this deck work. And you're gonna see the other target that we run, which is the feature rare, Chili the Beautiful. So this girl, she's strictly for hand control. Anytime you KO one of your opponent's battle cards, whether it's on your turn or their turn, you get to make them drop a card. And if you stack multiple on the board, that's gonna be heavy hand control, which your opponent will not be able to keep up with if you're doing this right. I'm gonna have a gameplay footage of this deck soon, so just bear with me, but you guys are gonna have access to the deck list first. We run 4 Speedy Partner Limo. So he, again, you can see the trend. It's basically just them outside of the Infernal Emperor. His ability is, if you control a Chili on board, BR, when he comes into play, your opponent has to drop a card. So imagine, I KO a battle card, let's say I have her in play already. You know, I'm controlling the board, getting rid of some of their battle cards. Now, put him into play, they have to drop a card. So they're losing multiple cards in 1 turn, and this is not even when I'm attacking. Because these guys, they're hitting numbers, they're 15K. So if my opponent's already awakened, they're gonna have to guard up early, and they're really losing cards from hand. And if they take damage, even better. It just makes my game much easier. So, moving forward, we run 4 Surprise Attack Frieza. This guy is incredible. Anytime you KO one of your opponent's battle cards, you can put in play him. And it's period. You don't even have to KO your opponent's battle cards if one of your opponent's battle cards are KO'd. That means that the new Broly deck that everyone's been running and that has been winning, it KOs itself. If they use their little location, that field card just to pop their own Broly, guess what? I can just sneak a nice surprise attack Frieza on board off of your own effects. So just keep that in mind, because this guy can put a lot of value in play, especially when you're attacking with critical. Now we're done with the green aspect of the deck. We're gonna move on to the yellow. Since this deck is a weenie based rush deck, we run 4 Frieza Call. I feel that Frieza Call is extremely essential for this deck because, as you can see, all of these are targets. I mean, like, the targets are ridiculous in this deck, and a lot of these cards are key. So you want to get out a lot of them as fast as possible, especially if you know you're going against a deck that's trying to kill you early. You want to establish some of these guys on board and start triggering abilities so that you can reduce the odds of your opponent, you know, pushing your shit in. Now, for the next yellow extra card we run, 3 Death Balls. This card is extremely powerful. For one, it's an active battle. If you use it with your leader, since we're running the Golden Frieza leader, we're able to do this. You get 15k power just for 1 yellow energy. Not only this, but if it's your active battle, meaning your turn, and you're attacking with your Frieza, you can pop one of your opponent's rest mode cards, which will trigger cards like this, and will trigger cards like this. So we can keep nice consistency of being able to trigger effects just to be able to get where we need to get into the game. Now, the last extra card we run is our 3 Time Magic. Time Magic is still one of the staples. This can also be used as a Flying Nimbus if you don't want to use Time Magic. There are certain decks that do go bonkers, so I would recommend Nimbus. But for this deck, main board, I like Time Magic. And as you guys already know, you can use it sparking 5 for free by taking a life. And when you target your opponent's battle card, they cannot switch from rest mode. So they're pretty much going to be stuck. We are using our super combos here. This doesn't really matter. As you can see, I have a split. I couldn't find my 4th Dodoria, so we're just doing 1 Goku as a replacement. Since we don't run the other little Frieza that can look at the top 3 and select a Frieza army card 2 or less, will work just fine. Just your standard super combos. Hopefully we can get better in the future so that we can have that standard 10k instead of 0 if we're not at 4 life. We run 2 Frieza bidding his time. He's just really good. He's great against decks that try to lock us up, like the feature rare Goku. 2 drops or less can't attack. We could just get rid of them. You know, it's kind of sucks when your deck is basically 2 drops or less, and those are your means of putting pressure for the most part. So anything threatening from stopping you from progressing your game state, you use him. And he's easily tutorable via Frieza's Call. Now, we run the Broly chain, guys. This is very important. It's a very good piece of the deck. Normally, he's a 2-drop. If you and your opponent and combined have 3 cards in rest mode, you can bring him out cheaply. And what's so good about him is that you can also target one of your opponent's cards in rest mode and keep them locked up. So it's really nice, similar to our Time Magic. The deck just wants to keep your opponent in control. We have Broly Demonic Intimidation. So this is the next part of the chain. For 1, it has EX Evolve for 2 yellow. So that's incredible because essentially you only have to spend 4 energy to go from here to here. And the best part about it is that once you use this ability and lock up your opponent, now you have access to being able to lock up more stuff. You can lock up your opponent's energy, you can lock up your opponent's leader, and just do some crazy, crazy things. Now, what's even better about this guy is that when you and your opponent control 6 cards in rest mode, you can use his nice ability to reduce him by 3. So now you can play him for 4 without having to lose other guys on the board. And last but not least, we have our Shenron. We're able to recycle all our little weenies, constantly bring back guys like him to just keep putting them in play and dropping cards out of our opponent's hand. Remember, every time this guy comes into play, if you control a Chill IBR, you can hit your opponent's hand. And what's great is that you can also trigger a lot of these abilities, which will allow you to just search through your deck and deck them early on, so you can get to a lot of key cards quicker. And of course, it's always great to have more energy being able to be restood, because it works with our leader, just being able to play multiple little threats and then KO them, attack, KO them, get energy, draw cards. Like, this deck is doing a whole lot, and our big hitters of the deck are these are the chain. So guys, you have my variant of Golden Frieza. It's nicely updated. I fine-tuned it very well. I will probably have a sideboard for it soon, but the main board is super solid. It's been beating a lot of the standard decks, like the new Broly deck that's been winning. I've been destroying that deck. And of course, I've also been beating a lot of the Super Shenron decks. That's one of the main threats, which is why I also recommended Flying Nimbus. Flying Nimbus is actually very important in the main board, but Time Magic is very good overall when you're just trying to have a cheap negate that can be usually played for free. Thank you all for watching, and as always, this channel is all about you.